Ready. Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and recipes. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by Darian, the girl who cooks by the book.
If you gotta do the cooking by the book, then you'll have a cake.
And Matt, the king of Flavortown.
That's right. On this episode of Ready, Set, Gamecast, I'm taking you to Flavortown.
What is the most extravagant recipe you know?
That I know?
Yeah.
Like from memory.
Yes, that I could sit you down and go make something assuming that you just had every possible ingredient.
I can make my own guacamole from scratch.
That sounds pretty good.
How many ingredients does it have?
Um,
Is it like can of guacamole? Made it. So
no, like avocados, limes, onion, tomato, a bunch of seasonings. There's like cumin and paprika and salt and pepper, and
like the band.
it's really hard to find the delicate balance with the lime, though. You can put too much lime, and you can put too little lime. Lime is tricky in guacamole.
How are you on cilantro?
I don't know about cilantro. I've never had it.
Is cilantro?
That I'm aware of.
Isn't cilantro like a meat?
I'm sure I have, but no, it's a seasoning. But
it's
there
like an
are
herb.
people who taste it and it tastes like soap to them. There's like a genetic thing.
It's not like soapy for me, but it's definitely not a good taste. Sometimes it's a little soapy, but it's not like, yeah, this tastes like dish soap or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know necessarily that I've had it.
I'm going to go with an egg dish of some type. I feel like I cook eggs a lot, so I could probably make that work.
Yeah.
Whatever that might be.
I would say my most extravagant is eggs and bacon. I used to make beef stew, but that still required beef stew mix. Although if we count that and just say beef stew mix counts as one ingredient, then I could do that probably because that's you get the beef, you get the carrots, you get the potatoes. It's like when I make beef stew, that takes like an afternoon, but then I have like beef stew for the week.
Yeah. I mean, I could throw together like a chili, but I don't know. I feel like chili is just like whatever you have on hand, as long as you have some like ground beef and some beans and some onion and then chili powder and tomato sauce or tomato paste. And then everything else is just kind of like whatever you want to put in there.
I agree.
I don't know.
Well, that brings us to the next part of the podcast where we ask everyone on this podcast, what have you been playing? Matt, what have you been playing?
I jumped back into Fall Guys a little bit. And this new season 3 is here, and it's really good. Like, they added a bunch of new maps on the playlist. They added a new final round. They're all winter and icy themed, and it's a lot of fun. I got a ninja skin. I guess it was a charity thing, and I got a Mr. Beast skin.
Oh yeah, that was there was the deal where they were doing the new skins, and like companies were bidding to be the new skin, and Beast and Mr. Beast and Ninja and somebody else grouped together to donate to charity to become the new skin. And so I thought it was 3 people who were getting skins, but who knows?
Maybe there's a third one coming, but I got the first 2 at least. They're cheaper too than the normal ones. They still cost crowns, so they're, the top and bottom are separate, but they each only cost 1 crown when usually those cost like 3 or 5. So
I know that at one point there was the Bidet company who were they were in the running.
Tushy.
Yeah. Which personally, I will tell you right now, as a bidet user, Tushy is overpriced. There are way better bidets you can get for half the price.
But are they going to support my favorite podcast?
I mean, no, but with the money you save, you could support your favorite podcast.
Not necessarily.
And does Tushy support all of your favorite podcasts?
No, just my number one favorite podcast.
Okay.
Which, of course, is Ready, Set, Gamecast, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
For the amount that you save on buying your bidet, you can then support their Patreon or Max Fund Drive or whatever.
They absolutely don't have a Patreon or a Max Fund Drive. They are not part of a network.
You can PayPal them $20 every episode. Because let me look at the price of a Tushy. Because
$69.
Hey.
Wait, they have bidet attachments? Whoa. And yeah, like the functional. Oh my god, what is this? There's Tushy Classic and Tushy Spa. Oh my god, they got a spa thing now. What do you get with the spa?
See, you're out here talking shit about Tushies. Meanwhile,
okay.
they're out here just trying to change the bidet game.
Except I
Get
think
out of here.
Except I think what you get with Tushy Spa is the thing that I got for my cheap bidet. Like I was like, Tushy doesn't even have what mine has, and mine's cheaper. But I think they were like,
Bryce and I have the same bidet.
what?
I'm trying to find it on a Google image search just to find the one that I have.
I got mine from Amazon, so I'll just search bidet.
Wow, am I the only person on this podcast who doesn't use a bidet? That's awkward.
You need to get on that bidet
I
lifestyle.
gotta say, there was a time since getting a bidet that I didn't have the luxury of the bidet, and it was awful. It was like, I do not feel appropriately clean anymore without a bidet.
Erin has talked at length about how when she goes to like her parents or anywhere else that she has to use the potty, how she is upset having to use a toilet that does not offer a bidet.
That's what I had. That same experience. Once you go bidet,
You can't go back. Honestly, it might be better to be you, where you can just use normal toilets without feeling a hole in your heart. It was $30 for the
yeah,
It
that's the one I got.
yeah. Let me see if that was the price I paid.
Lux, I think. This Lux Neo 120.
I got a Veckin. I got the Veckin bidet. I also got an Elgato arm at the same time. Yeah, it was $30. They actually must have done a change on the way this bidet looks, because it actually has a fancier knobs than the one I have. But yeah, so I've got mine offers a cleaning, a normal bidet spray, a female cleaning deal, which I'm not sure what it is. Erin never uses it, but it's there, and you get all that for $30. Whereas the normal Tushy, which just says, "Hey, spray it up," is $89. So
I've got the cheapo equivalent of that then, where it's just like you can either clean the nozzle or you can clean your butt.
Yeah. You don't have the feminine cleaning?
No.
Sometimes I like to just switch over to there just to experience it once in a while. For me, I feel like it's ball cleaning for the dudes. And I will say this: I don't
that adds up.
I don't think the guys clean their balls enough.
I mean, I guess it depends how often you shower.
Yeah. But how often?
Darian's ready to check out of this one.
How often do you make a point to clean that area?
Every
time
shower?
I shower?
Question mark? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like,
I guess this shouldn't be something that's like coming into question because there was a whole Twitter trend about people making fun of their ex-boyfriends for not cleaning their ass cracks. So I guess I won't be surprised that men aren't cleaning their balls, but I still don't want to talk about it on our video game podcast.
it's like how people talk about how they don't clean their legs, like actually like scrub their legs. They just kind of let the soap run down. I did
that before I knew how to take a shower.
I feel like most people, anything below the waist, you're just like, what the water gets is what the water gets.
No.
Matt's like, no, what?
I'm bad about my feet. My feet are the only one that I'm not like actively going on one foot to scrub my other foot.
But you go down
Everything
and scrub
else,
your legs.
Yeah.
Oh, I never.
Absolutely.
I never scrub my legs. I'm like I got a good power on the shower hose. I will just let it do its thing. Darian, do you scrub your legs?
I scrub everything.
I mean, you probably shave your legs, so I feel like girls are more likely to because they're just down there. I don't.
I don't use like soap or anything to like shave though. I shave and then wash myself.
Do you like use shaving cream or whatever? Or you just go with the razor.
I mean, typically you should use a shaving cream or a soap or something just so that there's a buffer between your skin and the razor, but like I don't.
It's like I don't care. I'll free ball.
That's the one thing I just don't give a shit about because it's just a whole thing applying shaving cream or soap either way. Like, ugh, it's a lot of work when I'm already cleaning every other part of my body because I'm a very good showerer.
Oh.
Got top grades in showering.
Yeah. Weren't we talking about what games we've been playing?
Yeah,
I talked about Fall Guys, and then got to
we were talking about
skins
where the skins came from.
bidets.
Okay, that explains where.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, Matt.
Fall Guys. Whether you're on your toilet or in your computer chair, have a great time playing. I also played some Doom Eternal. That came to Game Pass at the beginning of the month, and I thought I'd give that a whirl. And I think like not enough people talked about how fun Doom Eternal is this year. That game's really good. And I just didn't get a lot of attention because of Animal Crossing, I think, came out the same day.
Yeah.
Maybe people just don't like Doom. I don't know.
Maybe you just were following more of the people who were in the Animal Crossing fandom versus the Doom fandom.
That's fair.
I feel like they're pretty different fandoms.
I saw a lot of good crossover art with Isabelle and Doom Guy.
I also think I heard that Doom Eternal didn't like change the game from the original Doom much. Like it didn't build on it that much. It was more Doom. Or do you?
I guess I feel like it really did. Like maybe it didn't like evolve it necessarily, but I do think it like built on it in a like. Yeah, you want us to take the same ideas and run with them a little more rather than like add something crazy different to the formula.
So it feels more like more of what you loved of the first one rather than like this is a new experience.
Yeah, I think they leaned into the like ability stuff in the combat where like you only get certain resources for doing certain types of kills on enemies, right? So like if you want shields, you have to do like a flamethrower kill. If you want to do like a glory kill to get armor or like health, that's how you do that, you know? So like fighting your way through the encounters that way, like they really leaned into that. And then like they kind of featured the platforming stuff, and that's a lot of fun. Like it actually feels good to platform in first person, which is like not easy to do, I think.
I do imagine that with things going on in the world, people were more wanting to play Animal Crossing than something.
That's true. Animal Crossing, yeah, like
something to like Doom kind of has a depressing motif around it.
Doom opens with Hell on Earth.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yo, it's 2020.
It's like, let me escape into that reality for a minute.
And the last thing I've been playing also on Game Pass is Starbound, which Starbound came out, I don't even know at this point. It seems like, I think it's Chucklefish's first game, which Chucklefish are the publishers of Stardew Valley, as well as, there was another game that just came out in like the last year or so, but it's fine. Starbound plays like Terraria.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is the simplest thing to say.
Terraria in space.
It's Terraria in space. I think it looks nicer than Terraria, so that was more appealing to me. I think, that's kind of my takeaway. And it was free because it's free to me because I have Game Pass, right? So
you paid money up front, and then they said, here you go.
I paid the price of Terraria for the month access to play Starbound. Yes. But it's been really good so far. I've been playing co-op with my girlfriend, and today we were talking about trying to set up like a small server so we could have more people in it. But yeah, it's really cool.
I am genuinely surprised that the people who made Terraria aren't the people who made Starbound, because I had just assumed that.
I think the pixel artist is the same person, or however many people that might be. There's some interesting, if you look at Starbound and then you click on some of the fan art stuff, there's some interesting stuff going on.
Do we want to move on to what Darian's been playing?
Yeah, I'm all set. That's all I had to say.
Well, since Matt played Starbound, I just restarted Terraria for the first time in like several years.
God.
Actually.
Well,
because one of my friends that I like to play with frequently, I was like, God, I really don't want to play League, and I don't think my anxiety can handle Phasmophobia right now. And she's like, okay, well, let's look through our libraries and see what we've got. And I was like looking through hers, and I found a couple, and I was just like, nah, I don't love any of these. And she's like, wait, you have Terraria? We're gonna play Terraria. And I was like, that's great, because I played Terraria with my ex, and all of my memories about this game are with him. And she's like, we're gonna get rid of those right fucking now. This is gonna be great. Like, ugh. So I'm actually pretty hyped about getting into that again. And I also got into Stardew Valley again because of the new update that we're gonna mention later.
And I've been thinking about
I've
been thinking about Stardew for like a year.
God, that game is so good. It is one of my favorite fallbacks. I like to come back to it a lot. And this is a guidebook from one of my good friends whose name is Bryce. I don't remember if you got it for me for my birthday or Christmas, but
it was probably your birthday.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite gifts ever. I use it to make sure I give everybody the presents that they like.
Except every time he updates the game, they have to like update the guidebook. And luckily the I think it's Fangamer is the people who published that. So for people who have bought it previously, they'll send like a PDF of the new content. But it's like, if you want an actual like physical book deal, you have to buy a new one.
I might buy a new one once the one for this update comes out, because there's some new we're not going.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But it's I swear the last time he did an update, he said this is gonna be the last one, and then it's like, okay, actually, there's more.
I think it's just safe to assume that it's never gonna be the last one.
Yeah. Until he like makes another game, and then he's like, okay, I'll work on this one.
I mean, we'll probably get to this in a second, but like, how involved is the main developer, right? Like he built the first game, or he built the original Stardew by himself, right? But I think since then they've kind of gotten help with like porting things and updating things.
Fairly certain it's just him.
Yeah, I believe he is the person who works fully on the base game. There are people who port the game to other systems.
Yeah.
But in terms of like Stardew Valley, the PC version, that's him.
Oh wow.
So, but yeah, for like the console versions, he, has a team to port it out.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
We are wrong.
Oh, really?
Oh.
The team expanded, it looks like. It's 2 people now. The original game was specifically by Concerned Abe.
Yeah.
And then all of the ports, are done by different people.
Yeah.
But then the more recent updates, game developers Arthur Lee and Alex Erlinson. So it looks like Arthur and Eric, who is Concerned Ape, are the current dev team.
Okay.
Based on what their website says.
Size. They doubled their staff.
I mean,
their
technically
resources
more than
after
that,
hitting the big time.
since there are like teams that are doing the ports.
I don't know if you'd count for the most part, any game that gets ported is probably handled by another team. It's very rare that, unless you're like a really big developer, you're not handling ports yourself. Even big developers will have other people handle ports.
Have you guys played the mobile port for Stardew?
No. I've played the Switch version, which me and Aaron played quite a bit when the multiplayer came out, but the multiplayer had a lot of issues that I'm hoping when the new update comes to Switch, those will be fixed. Because, yeah.
I haven't tried multiplayer on my Switch. I know that they took out my favorite exploits, so now
fuck
I
this
don't know
game.
how to play the game anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but then I didn't. So take that, Bilbo.
Yeah.
You got her.
Also, League of Legends is currently running a Battle Queen event. So, play games, get tokens. You can get prestige points. And they unlocked the prestige shop for all of 2020, which is exciting because all of the skins that you could get with prestige points are available, as well as the ones through events. And they kind of do it by year. So, you can only unlock prestige skins for the year they're released. And then they go in the vault, I'm fairly certain, forever. They haven't discussed how they're going to revisit them in the future because it's a fairly new thing. So that's fun to be a part of. That's it. That's all I've been playing.
I'm excited about the future of League related things.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I mean, they have they have the Taken King that's coming out.
The Ruined King.
Ruined King.
I was like, wait, that's Destiny.
Too many kings. Yeah, the Ruined King comes out in like March, I think.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, they got a game coming out that's not normal League of Legends.
And is Too Many
It
Kings
just says
coming out?
2021. They haven't set an official release date yet.
Maybe I just believed it in my heart that it's March. But without a proper date, it's probably going to be late 2021.
Yeah, they were initially going to try to do early 2021, but now it's looking more like summer.
Well, that brings the what you've been playing train to me. I have recently finished the Final Fantasy 15 game. It's a game I've been It's a game I've been meaning to play for quite some time, and the PlayStation 5 has been making me want to play more PlayStation 4 games. Weirdly, it's just because everything just runs better, loads faster on the PlayStation 5. Like, I don't know how long load times would be if I was playing on the PlayStation 4, but it's definitely like things are load faster on the PlayStation 5, and it's just better to play. I can play it like the performance modes and stuff, and it just feels good to play. So I've been meaning to play Final Fantasy 15, especially due to the Kingdom Hearts 3 connection. So that was cool. I thought I had a spoiler. I thought going in, I thought I was spoiled on the game because so for Final Fantasy 15, there is the movie which is Kingsglaive, which tells the story.
Right.
Yeah, it tells the story of the fall of Insomnia. Which honestly, they should have just included that and the anime on the disc. Like you honestly kind of
they totally should have. You're right.
You kind of need to know those to play the game to fully get everything out of the game. And honestly, Kingsglaive is a good movie. It gets the shit, but like both me and Aaron are like, this is a really good movie. I wish more of that was like something of that was featured in Final Fantasy 15, because I was like, these characters are awesome. Are we gonna see them in the game? No. Like there is a throwaway line very late in the game about a thing in the movie, but that doesn't come up.
I feel like the opening to the game also didn't do a great job of just explaining what was happening with that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like your car's broken down from what I remember, and then like one of the early missions you kind of go back to the city limits, and it's just like, why is this locked down? I don't really know, and it's not ever.
No, I mean you're at the hotel, and then you wake up the next morning, and then people bring in a newspaper saying Insomnia fell. I don't know if people would know, like, being able to register, like, he's from Insomnia, da 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 da. So they might be throwing too much information. I know that people had that issue that like you need to watch the movie to fully get the game. So if you play it now, they've actually updated it where they like splice in bits of the movie at points throughout the game to kind of like feature
that's cool.
feature bits that kind of help, show that off. But still, like you kind of really got to watch the movie to really know what's up. But along with that, they also did a 4 or 5 part, I think it's 5-part, anime series thing, kind of focusing on the backstories of Noctis and his companions, which is another thing that is honestly fairly essential to the story, because throughout the game, Prompto is kind of like, I'm not like the rest of you guys. I'm not, from the royalness, and like he never goes on to explain. He just kind of says these things. I'm like, what is up with Prompto? And I was like looked into it, and I was like, oh wait, there's an anime about this. So I Google, or I went on YouTube looking for Final Fantasy 15 Prompto, and I saw like Final Fantasy 15 Prompto death. And I'm like, no.
Oh no.
But I have no idea why people were searching that, because it didn't seem to matter. Unless there's some sort of secret alternate endings. Although to be fair, I haven't played all the DLCs, but I did just finish the Prompto DLC. And
did you mainline the story?
I did like 99% of the side quests.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like I think to be fair, there's side quests that you don't have until you like go upon, but I think I'm at like level 70 or whatever at the final.
Okay.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy 15 was really cool. I guess I felt like the ending could have been more impactful. It was cool, but there's other Final Fantasy games that kind of hit me harder at the end, and this one was like, fine. I'm playing through the DLCs and kind of learning more about the side characters. I will say, I almost feel like the DLCs should have just been included in the main game, because there is a like thing with your companions. One of the companions, they're like, oh, hey, this thing happened to me. Don't worry about it. I'm like, that's fine. You're not that, it's not that big a deal. But the way another character reacts during basically what happened after his DLC, I was so confused about why he was acting that way. But then after playing their DLC, I'm like, oh, okay, I now understand your thing. And
That seems like a questionable decision.
Yeah, it very much would have made more sense to just include that. For one, I do somewhat understand why they didn't do it, because like I've played through like Gladius's DLC feels almost Dark Souls-y-ish, because like normal Final Fantasy 15, you can kind of just like pop around slashing dudes wildly. But Gladius's DLC, it was a lot about like dodge, attack, dodge. Like it was very Dark Souls-y. Prompto's was more, I don't know, Metal Gear Solid-y. Like it was very focused on gun shooting and kind of like cover. And I mean, obviously it's Prompto. He's got a gun, but it was a very different feel from the base game. So the DLCs feel different from the normal game, but the story aspect you're getting, I feel like needed to be included to really take away, understand what the heck is going on with them. But overall, it was cool. It definitely makes me really excited to see the involvement in the next Kingdom Hearts, because the people who played the DLC are aware that Noctis is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4. I played Animal Crossing, did Toy Day, have been messing around with the snow stuff. Have you guys been on Animal Crossing at all?
No.
Not since April.
So
One day I'll get there.
So a thing that they've got going on right now is Snow Boys, where basically each day 2 snowballs will form on the ground, and you can like roll the snowballs around until they get big enough, and then you roll one on top of the other, and it creates a snow boy. And if you make them perfect, they will give you a snow recipe and a large snowflake, which is like required
Cool.
ingredients for the snow recipes. The problem with that is that it is so like if you were off by a hair, you don't get anything. You have to make a perfect snow boy. For people who don't know, basically my understanding is that the base has to be like 100% and the head has to be 90% of the pro strat to achieve that seems to be like if you roll these snowballs over snow, they get bigger. If you roll them over like dirt or anything that would like tiles or whatever, anything not covered by snow, they get smaller. So the pro strat seems to be roll them as big as possible and then make a path 10 tiles long and put the big snowball at one end and then just roll it along those 10 tiles, hit the other end, and it'll be perfect. The only problem is that I have done that and I've gotten maybe 50% of the time it works.
Yikes.
It's way, more precise than just trying to guess randomly because I got it 0% of the time just going like, is this it? And it's no. But it's still very frustrating. But I don't know, it's still Stardew Valley. I'll be excited to see
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's I was looking at the game list and I was clicking on Stardew Valley. It's still Animal Crossing.
I love Stardew Valley.
And I'm excited to see how the game grows. Obviously, there's they're gonna add more stuff. There's some obvious things from past Animal Crossings, like the shop getting bigger that has not been implemented. But it seems like they
really.
Yeah, the shop is supposed to get to be a huge thing, and it has not.
It becomes like a 24-hour mall at some point.
Yeah, but it has not grown beyond the second step.
Right. And that's like a time thing, right? That's like after 60 days or something.
Yeah, I mean, normally they're supposed to grow over time. I think the way they're doing Animal Crossing to keep people playing with the Switch is that they're going to be releasing these new features
right.
to add.
It'll be like next summer.
Yeah, where they provide provide an update so that time traveling people can't just be like, oh yeah, a year from now you get the best version of the shop, and the time traveler's like, well, I have it. And so that the people who play normally are just like, well, this sucks. And so I completely get where the devs are coming from, but also like I don't think Animal Crossing is a game that you should really try and play every day. You should maybe check in once every season, once every month, when big updates are and stuff like that. But like people who play every day, I'm like, I don't know how or why you do this.
When I was playing every day, it was like the struggle is like I can't play for less than an hour when I'm playing this. When I think ideally it would be like I can play for 15 or 20 minutes 2 times a day, right? And like that would be all I need to just like check in and do a couple things. But it was like one thing led to another over and over again, and I just ended up playing like an hour every time. And then I was just like, this is too much of a time commitment. I gotta hop off, and then I haven't been back in months.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never had like I at a certain point when I started falling off, I kind of went like, I'm not gonna try and do everything. And when I check back in, I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna go talk to my favorite villagers. I'm gonna do the new thing that there is to do, and I'm not gonna like shake all the trees and try and do that stuff. I'm not gonna be a completionist with Animal Crossing. I'm not, I have other things to do with my life. So if you're kind of, you can play Animal Crossing casually. There's definitely people who are hardcore about it. Who've got like, I'm gonna have the perfect village and stuff. I, you know, I'm not that player, and I don't think people need to be that player. The last thing I've been playing is Fuser, which is the DJ-esque game where you are combining songs as part of a, like, you play as a DJ at like a big music show, and you get to combine songs. So like I can take the beat from All Star, the rhythm from Call Me Maybe, and then the like vocals from Body Like a Back Road, and make these songs. And honestly, it is crazy how the game seems to be able to tweak the other aspects to match. Like having the lyrics of Body Like the Back Road with one song will be very different than having with another, because they are matching the other parts of the songs in a really cool way. I find it, so it has a like actual game aspect to it, where you are playing at the show and you got to make the crowd happy, and there's stuff of like dropping the songs at the right time to get the most points, and then fulfilling the audience's requests and stuff. And I'm kind of getting frustrated with that, because like they seem kind of hard to please, especially like I'm still trying to learn all of the stuff that I can do. I wish they would just run you through every possible thing you could do and then go, okay, now the audience is going to be actually like upset if you do bad. But like they're still teaching me stuff between each deals, but I could fail, so I have to start all over, and then I'm still trying to learn these new techniques. But just the literal mixing of songs, I'm digging. So just as a cool thing of like putting together, rap songs and like country lyrics and stuff is really fun. Like I have been like nodding along, like this song sounds awesome that I've mixed together of like 5 other songs. It is cool. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure for people really into music, you are gonna have a lot of fun with it. If you're just like, hey, I want a cool video game, but I'm not a music person, this probably won't be for you.
Is it a good single player time?
I mean, it's primarily single player. Like you can play it co-op, and you can do. I guess you can.
Yeah, you picture the environment being like you are playing in a room full of friends, kind of thing, and like passing the controller or something like that. Right?
I don't think that's
you don't see it as that kind of thing.
I mean, it is a game deal, and it seems like for you to keep the audience happy, you need to be changing songs constantly, like changing the beats and stuff very, very quickly. And there is a lot. You need to know a lot. You are not this is not a like, hey, I can just hand it to someone and they will know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
This is a single player thing primarily, and you can do co-op with another person. You can even do like a battle against another person. I think it offers cross-play, so you can play with people on PC. But I don't think this is really a party game, other than the deal of like, hey, you want to listen while I play this game. And like Erin has like nodded her head along when I've been playing, but I think in general she's like, some of this sounds really bad, and I will admit, like, yes, a lot of the times it will sound really bad because I'm still trying to figure this out, and early on they will force you to have certain songs as part of your repertoire for different deals. So they'll be like, you are starting with these 4 rap songs, and then you can fill in the rest of the songs you want to use. But they are very much trying to go like, hey, you need to use 2 rap songs to complete this objective. So I'll have to put in 2 rap songs. I'm like, but I want to use Carly Rae Jepsen. And they're like, fine, you can do that, but it's going to sound like garbage. And it's hard to know what the game's judging you on, other than the fact of like completing these requests of the audience, of, like, use a song from the 1990s. So I'm not 100% sure how exactly the game works, but the music I'm making is kind of cool, and I will say that much about it.
I don't know how the game works, but I'm making cool sounds happen. That seems like a poorly designed game. Sounds like you're having fun despite that, so that's good.
I think the game is not for me, but I'm just kind of like brute forcing it. It's a game for like musicians who, like, I saw Griffin McElroy play it. He streamed a little bit, and he was doing some crazy cool stuff, and the in-game audience was loving it. Oh, another cool thing about it is that you can actually play it on Twitch, and
okay. I was gonna say, yeah. How do you stream it?
Yeah, and
or like on Twitch specifically.
And the listener or the audience, I think, with a Twitch extension, I think can act as the audience and I think do requests and also say like, I'm liking this stuff. But
I meant for my DMCA.
So I don't think it's going to be a DMCA issue so much, because you are mixing different aspects of songs, so that
it becomes fair use.
Well, at the end of the day, the song that you put together doesn't sound like the other songs, because you are mixing the beat of this song, the rhythm of this song. It's not either of those songs anymore. It is this new thing that sounds different. But also...
Yeah, I was wondering how it got around, getting auto-flagged and getting channels just immediately banned.
Yeah, but also, with the way Twitch is being lately, who knows? Like, when Fuser came out, Twitch was not as crazy with stuff as it is currently, so who knows? But yeah, that is what I've been playing. That brings us to the quick news. Darren, do you want to do it?
Sure. All right. So, first of all, Riot Games is making an MMO set in the League of Legends universe. We've only been asking for this for a decade. Now we're finally getting it.
That's super cool.
I never asked for it.
Well, technically, I haven't been asking for it for a decade, but 8 years.
I'm excited. They make good-looking things, and they have a cool world with a bunch of cool characters and everything. It's like it's so primed for it. It doesn't matter. It won't be bad.
Pretty fully fleshed out world. I'm excited to see how they finally realize it in MMO form.
Yeah, since I saw the series, the animation deal they're putting out at some point, that made me go, oh, the League of Legends universe seems cool. And with that, I'm like, oh yeah, an MMO with that would be cool. So I'll probably play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since I'm an MMO player now, I might as well play this League of Legends one, right? Because I started Final Fantasy 14. That's gone nowhere, by the way. I created a character and haven't actually played it yet.
Remember how I was talking about ESO last time? I haven't touched it since last time.
Perfect. All right. The next quick news is that Stardew Valley just got its biggest update ever. There's a new farm type. It's called a beach. You can't use sprinklers, so it's interesting. They also added a bunch of late game content and split screen local co-op.
Oh.
So that might actually fix Bryce's issues.
We played on our own Switches, which I'd prefer to do. But our issues were like, Aaron would get disconnected a lot, and then there's a weird thing that with like online play versus local play that basically forced us to have a second house that went unused because a bug. So yeah, it's some weird stuff, but mostly connection based issues. So hopefully those get hammered out.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong anyway. The patch is out for PC, but won't be released for consoles until next year.
Yeah, I believe. God, what's the developer's name?
Concerned Ape.
Yeah, I believe I saw a Concerned Ape tweet just a little bit ago saying that he estimates the console version will come out early 2021. He said if things go really well by the end of January, and the mobile update has no estimated release date. But looking through this Polygon article, just like scrolling through all the changes, there's a lot. There is a lot. I saw just a quality of life update of like things that they fixed in terms of like sorting items and what's up with sprinklers, like when you are trying to hoe around a sprinkler, hoeing a sprinkler will not make it knock up anymore. You actually have to pick it up. There's a lot of things that have been like frustrating that have now been fixed with this new update. And then obviously there's actual like game content on top of the like quality of life and bug fix type stuff. It's a lot.
Is there like, has there been an update where you don't, I guess what I'm looking for is maybe not Stardew at this point, but like more of a just sandbox game and less of a,
no,
I have to go obey the town rules and talk to the people and build relationships and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's not Stardew.
Nope.
That's
yeah. I know, but like I don't know. I played.
It's like I guess
played that. So I guess I want just like farming, hanging out.
Oh, I mean, you don't like have to do that, but that's kind of the deal. If you would live in the small town, you're here to make friends and stuff. And I don't think if you're not going to interact with the other townsfolk, I'm not sure why you'd play Stardew.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the next story. Super Nintendo World official tour with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Have you looked at this, Darian?
No.
Okay, so Shigeru Miyamoto did a Super Nintendo World Direct where he took people through a small look at the theme park in Japan.
Looks amazing.
We got to see the entrance and kind of understand how the park works exactly. With your power-up band, you will be able to play what seems like little mini games to collect enough keys. And then once you have those, you will be able to complete a boss battle against Bowser Jr. And so we got a look at just kind of like some small attractions throughout. We didn't get to we saw the kind of like entrance to Mario Kart. We didn't get to see what the actual ride looks like, but he kind of showed off what like some of the mini games would look like and just kind of a basic idea of what you'll get when you go to the park. Matt, have you seen it?
I watched it earlier today. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of Super Nintendo World?
I can't wait till it comes to Universal Orlando, and then I'll probably try to go at some point, That's not really what I think about it.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, I'm going to go.
Yeah. It seemed it seems interesting to me, but I'm just picturing a bunch of people just kind of standing in line to play that like little simple, hey, hit the turtle game. And it's like, I could see that being frustrated for like a small payoff. Like the Mario Kart's probably going to be cool and like the actual rides are going to be cool. But some of this seems like adding in a bunch of people is just going to be kind of weird. Everybody standing around to play those.
I was thinking like, if it's anything like going to another big theme park, then man, the lines are just gonna like everything looks like it's cool if there's a limit on capacity that's like really exclusive.
Which I don't imagine
100 people or something,
I don't imagine there will be. I mean, obviously right now there probably is, but once like it's actually safe for people to go to theme parks, I imagine that won't be the case. So just go, come on in. So when you're adding in a full theme park, I could see it kind of not being as cool, but
there's a point in the video where he's eating popcorn.
Yeah.
And he says something along the lines of like, you may think it's weird for me to be like eating in public or something. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
the US is so different and it's gonna be awful.
Yeah, I imagine that is a Japan thing that you do not eat in public, but yep. So
I bet it's a good experience there.
yeah, I definitely don't see myself. I would not go to Japan just for Super Nintendo World. If I was in Japan and I was near Super Nintendo World, I'd check it out. But I wouldn't
If I'm in the neighborhood, I'll drop by.
Yeah. But I'm not going to be like, I'm going to Japan just to hang out with Mario.
Oh, also, during the video, he refers to himself as Mario's dad.
Oh, yeah.
And then tells Mario and Luigi that dad's busy right now.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
That's certainly a thing that happened in this video. Yep. So that is Super Nintendo World. You can, if you go to youtube.com and search Super Nintendo World official tour, you will probably find the video.
There's one coming to Singapore, one coming to Orlando, and one to Hollywood.
Yeah.
But no dates. But this one opens in February in Japan.
I think they're also adding in like a Donkey Kong World to that as well, because it kind of seems like there's what's there right now isn't like a lot. There's only like a few things that you could consider rides.
Yeah, there's like a lot of activities that were like interactive with the wristband,
Yeah.
it seemed, but like, yeah, only a couple of marquee rides. There's a cool photo
so
where you can see like the whole park in an aerial shot.
yeah. I will say, like, looking at the park, like actually watching the video, it is a deal of like it is hard to tell that is a real thing. If you just showed me a picture of the deal, I'd be like, okay, that's from the video game. That is not an actual thing, but it is. So they very much captured that look. But I'm just not sure the like fun is enough. I don't know what it costs to get in and all that, but who knows?
That's it for the quick news.
So
right?
yeah, but I want to say one more thing about Super Nintendo World. I wish PlayStation or Xbox did something like this, because it would be really cool for you to be able to get like trophies that you could only get at the theme park. To be like, I platinumed PlayStation World.
It kind of, like with the Nintendo one, he said the wristbands you get work as amiibo. So like there's a bunch of those.
Sure, but there's not like an achievement system or anything that you can like show off. Like, hey, look, I got the platinum at this theme park.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see what the wristband does in his amiibo, but it probably just does like
it's just an amiibo, I assume,
it probably
right?
just
Like
does
any
default amiibo stuff like any.
Yeah.
It's like when you use Kirby amiibo in a Zelda game. It's like it just does amiibo
right
stuff.
Yeah, it's probably just like these 8 or whatever, or $150 each.
But yeah, I think it would be cool. I know there's a Halo arcade game that like is in arcades that I know you can log into your Xbox account on that, and then you will get achievements for playing the arcade game. So I wish that was that, but for an entire theme park, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they do have like the Nintendo Gold points and stuff, so I wonder if they will do something with that. Like when you go to PAX, you log into your Nintendo thing and your account, and you can like get, the pins or whatever they have.
Mm-hmm.
So they have some way to integrate that kind of stuff.
I guess, but I don't think there's a great way to show it off to your friends.
Yeah.
Which I would like. I would like to be able to be like, yeah, I freaking nailed Super Nintendo World. Look how good I did, guys. I think best thing you could take like a screenshot of how many coins you got or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see a kid just like you get every time you hit the little block, you get 1 coin. I would like to see a kid just sit there and camp all day and just boom, boom, boom. That's all he does at Super Nintendo World is just hit the block.
I bet it has a cooldown to prevent people from doing that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, that is all the quick news. And we have one piece of slow news. Cyberpunk 2077.
And I stopped caring about this game so long ago.
Yeah, so
I'm kind of mad that I'm hearing about it right now.
there's a lot to unpack there. So basically the gist is the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of Cyberpunk 2077 was very, very bad. It crashed. It looked like utter garbage. It is very much considered like unplayable by quite a few people. It is probably a thing they should not have released at all. They probably should have said, hey, this game cannot run on that system. We're not doing it.
It sounds like, they should have delayed till sometime next year and just not released it for, the current, or the, I guess, last gen consoles now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that. It seems like people playing on PC and PS5 and Xbox Series X are having issues, but like it works.
They're having the standard experience.
Yeah. So it kind of sounds like they should have probably what they should maybe have done is just release the current gen game and then like go, you guys will get your PS4 version when we can make it run. But they didn't. They said, we want your money now, and people were very much upset, which is very fair. So, after a huge backlash, Cyberpunk was like, hey, we understand things are real bad. We'll refund you. We understand this is a bad time. You get your money back. It's fine. Except they didn't talk to like Sony before they made that statement. So people went to Sony. They go knock, knock, knock. Hi, Cyberpunk told me I could have my money back. And they're like, get out of here. We don't know what you're talking about. And they refused people. And then at a certain point, PlayStation said, okay, yes, we will refund you, but you can no longer buy Cyberpunk 2077. They have removed They removed it from the store.
Oh shit! I didn't hear about that. Oh, that's hilarious.
That happened like really late at night whenever it did, because it was like I'm up later than usual and I opened up Twitter or something and everyone was like, they've delisted it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is weird.
So that
Yikes.
is basically the story of Cyberpunk 2077. Obviously, there's a lot on the back end of like this game was a product of like the publishers forcing it out when it was not ready. The developers, obviously need to do a lot more work. It probably will be good in like 6 months and stuff. And they probably should have said, hey, it's delayed until we can make this work good. But I guess they just said, we want the money now, and they put it out there, and it's gone very badly. And now, like, CD Projekt Red was a well-regarded game company, and they have completely blown up that goodwill.
Yikes.
People do not like them right now. And the next time they put out a Witcher game, I will be surprised if people are so willing to support them.
Oh, people will go nuts for The Witcher. I don't think that that's I don't think that their performance on a brand new game that was a shitty release schedule anyway, because they did it right as the new consoles are coming out, which was a terrible idea. That was not the intention. They were trying to release it before the new consoles came out, and they prioritized the wrong things in doing that.
Yeah, I
don't think the Witcher series is going to be affected at all by their decisions.
I very much see the pre-orders for the next Witcher game are not going to be anywhere near like old pre-orders. Certainly not for Cyberpunk.
Who's pre-ordering games in this the current year, like in the current console
You
era.
gotta get that exclusive skin or that special weapon or whatever for pre-order bonuses.
Have you ever pre-ordered for a digital item?
Yes. I primarily buy digital now, and I will pre-order if they offer me something. I believe Spider-Man for PS4, you would get like it, they would unlock a gadget earlier if you pre-ordered it.
That's so dumb.
I went and bought retail copy of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And got the founder edition or whatever that came with like the suit is unlocked right away and you get bonus experience points or something.
I'm wondering if they're kind of game companies now will kind of go, if you play it within the first 2 weeks or whatever, you get that. Like, but there's certainly ones that will go like you actually have to pre-order, but sometimes that'll just be like, hey, you get a like PlayStation theme or something. It's not a
right.
I feel like the rewards for pre-ordering have definitely diminished from what they used to.
I got a duffel bag for Grand Theft Auto 4, okay?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it came with a lockbox.
So sometimes GameStop will have cool like pre-order like stuff that they'll give you. Like here's a keychain, but luckily I'm friends with someone at GameStop, and I've literally like gone to buy another game and be like, oh, they had a pre-order for this? That's pretty cool. And they're like, yeah, we got like 10 of them in the drawer. You want one? Like, I do. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
I think the last couple of times I've gone to a GameStop, I think one of them was for Spider-Man. I went in, was like, hey, I had like, the new Spider-Man for PS4. And they're like, okay, well, did you pre-order? And I was like, no. And they're like, okay, well, let's see if we have a copy. And it's like, there's 80 million, 100 million PlayStation 4s out there. If you don't have a copy of Spider-Man, like, how are you in business? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah.
And they had a huge stack. It was just like, why are you? Like,
I mean, because they want you to pre-order. They're going to say,
I know,
look.
but they were like shaming me for not pre-ordering.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? This product came out like a day ago.
I don't understand GameStop's whole business deal. Like, why is pre-ordering so important to your business? Like, you don't get more money from pre-ordering. Like, the $5 you put down goes towards the actual purchase. Like, why do you care?
Like, I guess when like inventory wise, like it could be an issue, but it's like it's a copy of a new game for a PlayStation 4, which is like, there's the most of those on the market currently of what you guys sell. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna have it.
At a certain point, I feel like people are gonna go, hey, do you have this game? And they're gonna go, oh no, we don't. And then be like, okay, I'm gonna go install it digitally. I don't give a crap.
Like, no, we have a download code though. If you want,
as long as I can sell you something. It's with the discless version of PlayStation 5. I'll be very curious how much longer GameStop is selling games. I mean, obviously they'll still sell you action figures or whatever random backpacks or socks and stuff, but at a certain point this is gonna be like, why do I need you? Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 was a whole shit show. I imagine in 6 months to a year, people are going to be playing that and go, this is amazing. There are people who have played it, who have like kind of pushed through the bugs and gone, this is really cool.
Yeah, it seems like a totally fine game, and there are some bugs.
Oh,
yes,
but also I've seen people go like, this is really cool, and then also later be like, okay, this is like the third time the game has crashed. So the people who are
not
like
so cool anymore.
Well, the people who are having fun with it seem to just have a good tolerance for ignoring that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like it still needs a lot of work, and we'll see how that turns out. I mean, I've heard it compared to No Man's Sky, which obviously people were frustrated with No Man's Sky, not in the way that it was broken, just as in it's not what they wanted.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I generally hate that comparison because I feel like people didn't like No Man's Sky because they didn't it didn't meet what they wanted the game to be or thought the game was going to be. Not like, oh, this was bad and broken and buggy, which Cyberpunk is more on this was either broken and buggy and bad more than like No Man's Sky was a totally playable game. It was just not what you wanted.
Yeah. I mean, I think No Man's Sky was misrepresented. I feel like he made claims that you would be able to play with, your friends and stuff, which was not true.
That's true.
But
he did say like you'd be able to find each other and you could not find each other,
Yeah.
but now you can, and it was free. So good for them.
I think he kind of was like, they'll never find each other. This will never come up. I'll be fine. And the people are like, no, they're gonna do it. They're gonna just sit there and fly to every ship or fly to every planet. And they're gonna find a way to find each other. I remember like the first time two YouTubers or streamers or something like finally found each other, and they were like, nope, they're not there. So, but yeah, I imagine this game's gonna finally come together, but it's gonna be like, you should have just waited. You should have.
Yeah, especially like, I don't know. I guess if you're working on the game, yeah, you don't make the timelines or anything
Yeah.
like that, right? You don't make the schedule. You're just working.
Yeah.
Ultimately, but like now, you have another 6 months or so of like, I'm just working and I'm just fixing all these bugs that we didn't need to ship with if we just delayed the game out 6 months,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever.
Or yeah. I don't know.
That's not up to you ultimately. So it just sucks if you're actually working on the game.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
It's too bad like they didn't go early access. Honestly, like I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. I was watching Katie play Baldur's Gate 3 earlier, and she had so many issues and stuff. But at the end of the day, you go, this is early access. I know what I'm getting. But you pay full price for Baldur's Gate 3 right now. So it's not a deal of like, oh, they got a discount. All you got to do is say, oh, we're putting out this early access thing. And if there's any issues, they go, well, I did sign up for an early access thing. And you still get the money. Like, I feel like developers just need to use early access if they're going, hey, we can't, we need the money,
Yeah.
but we can't make the game right now. Just put it out as early access and then you're good.
I mean, look at Fortnite. Is Fortnite still early access? I don't know.
No, that came out a bit ago. Though, did Save the World? I think Save the World's never going to be like free, which is ridiculous. It's like, I'm surprised they care.
Yeah, it's a little surprising, that they would care, I guess. But maybe it's like, we like the only value of this is if people buy it, I guess.
Well, that is all of the news for you. I want to take a quick minute to thank our Patreon producers, Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas. Thank you for supporting the show. We really appreciate you going to patreon.com/lastgeek and helping make the show possible. But that brings us to Darian's favorite section.
Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite argument for why Bryce shouldn't cancel the show for us to read on the show.
Man, I hope we get some.
Are these? Yep. Okay. So Gamer asks, what 2021 game are you most excited about? I've forgotten.
What
everything.
are 2021 games?
That's a question. 2021 games. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, 100%. Done and done. I feel
top results.
I feel like I can guess Darian's.
Oh, yeah, you probably can. Do you want to?
God of War Ragnarok.
Yes. I was like, what is he going to say? I don't even know anything that's coming out. And then I saw it. It doesn't have a picture on Google for some reason.
I mean, I don't think we have a proper logo for it. We just have the announcement video.
Yep, that's the one. That's me.
Yep.
Ooh, I am looking through IGN's top 2021 releases, and a couple are sticking out, just like, oh yeah, I'm interested in that, but I don't know that any are like, yes, that is the game I most want. Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't have a date, right? Because if that came out next year, it would immediately probably be Breath of the Wild 2. I'm actually pretty excited or pretty interested in playing Halo Infinite. I haven't played Halo in a long time, so I'd be pretty interested in going back to Halo. Other than that, I don't know. Oh, the Resident Evil game, the new one of those are always cool. Always.
There's never a time a Resident Evil sucked.
Yeah.
I think I've
one era.
I think I've only played one Resident Evil and it was not good.
Hey, Skull and Bones is listed as a 2021 game. You remember Skull and Bones, the pirate?
Yeah, wasn't that
battling game?
Wasn't that the one
Ubisoft?
where you just played the ship? It was like a ship battle. Yeah.
Do you think that one's coming out? There's a new Harvest Moon coming out.
God, Harvest Moon. I don't know. I feel like Harvest Moon has not been Harvest Moon. Like they have not lived up to what you expect from a Harvest Moon in a long time.
Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game, that's coming out next year. I'm excited to see that.
Transphobes.
I mean, so the problem is that anything Harry Potter related
should not be supported.
Eventually is going to make J.K. Rowling more money.
So stop supporting Harry Potter.
That's not fair to ask of people whose like
I don't think it's a reasonable thing.
Adolescent development like was surrounded by Harry Potter. Like that's not fair to ask of people.
Like you can address that it's problematic, right? You can address that her views are not like you
can acknowledge that she's a shitty person and she doesn't deserve the fame and fortune that she's gotten, but you can't take this series that means so much to so many people away from those people. Like that's just not fair to ask of them.
What
if I told you can't play Ratchet and Clank because the people who made it originally are transphobes and they're going to make money off of the game?
Then I would stop giving them money. I can still play anything that I have.
What if it was like the founder of Sony? You know,
then I'd probably have to start playing Xbox. Like there is a deal of like Chick-fil-A. People shouldn't eat at Chick-fil-A because they give money to like conversion camps, and they have literally said, "Oh, we're not going to do that anymore," and then they turned around and did it. Like, you don't support shitty people. If you support a business run by shitty people, they will take that money or notoriety or whatever and do bad things with it.
I think there's a difference, though. I guess maybe my Sony argument's not a good one because of this, but
there is
she created this universe, right? But that lives beyond her, right?
Anything that she makes money from, you can be a Harry Potter I'm not saying that you cannot. You have to stop going, I'm a Hufflepuff, I'm a Slytherin. I'm still gonna say I'm a Slytherin. I'm not going to but
your stance is like you can't enjoy the new Harry Potter thing because of that.
I am saying don't give them money. Don't give them a thing that is going to help them because they are shitty people and you are helping them. There are maybe ways around it where like maybe if you buy it used, then she doesn't get the money, but then because like somebody had to buy it at some point who probably doesn't give a shit. So buying it used is arguably not that bad, but literally supporting Harry Potter in any way, buying the clothing, buying whatever, a cut of that is going back to J.K. Rowling, who is a transphobe who uses her fame to hurt transgender people. You need to be aware of that and try and mitigate that, however, and you can be I love trans people, I support them very much, but you have to be aware doing this thing has a reaction that is negative towards trans people.
Figure that she makes like X% of the cost of the game, then also make a donation of twice that amount toward a charity that is going to fight against the type of bullshit that she's spewing. Because it's really not fair to ask somebody to not enjoy an experience for something that can be, like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not that big of a Harry Potter fan. I don't care.
Well,
but there are people whose entire lives revolve around this universe, and it's not fair to ask them to not do this thing that they're going to enjoy and look forward to because of the shitty thing that J.K. Rowling's doing.
Oh.
I'm not doing it because I agree with you, Bryce. I don't think you should financially support people who do shitty things. So I don't do that once I'm aware of it. But there's a line.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, people need to do what's right for them. Like, if you can say, like, the happiness, like, there are transgender people who are Harry Potter fans that are like, I want to play this, and obviously, you know, you are deciding, hey, I'm a transgender person, this is going to make me happy, you know, who cares what she gets out of this? Everybody has to decide what is right for themselves. But you also have to be aware of what that purchasing this game is going to do. You can't just go, this is a video game, like, who cares, because she gets money. She is getting more fame. She is getting more power from purchases of this game.
You could argue like a similar argument with like Cyberpunk 2077 because there was a lot of trans people who were like, no, this game's bad. This is not okay. But two of my closest friends who happen to be trans were both super excited, downloaded that game the day it came out, have been playing it nonstop. Like, we can't decide how they feel and how they approach that subject, right? So
I'm not speaking for every possible person. I think that will never be the case. Anything I say is not going to be a blanket. I am never a black and white person that I'm going to say what I say is the correct answer for everybody. I'm just saying that, like, this game has a lot of badness tied to it. Same with Cyberpunk. I was already as soon as they removed third person from it, I was kind of like, I'm not about that. But the second trans people were like, this is bad, do not support this, I was like, well, that's certainly the nail in the coffin, because anytime someone's like, oh, this is really great, that might have been what was swayed me. But trans people going like, you supporting this is bad for us, I'm like, then I'm never going to give them money. Even if they fix the game, it is still harmful to trans people. And you know, I don't want to support people who hurt people. But if a trans person is like, I love this game and I'm trans and I don't care, that's for you. Do what makes it best for you. Just be aware of what things mean beyond the obvious thing of it's a video game. Because,
right.
You know,
I guess, I don't know, just...
things are complicated.
To me, right, it's going to be complicated, and obviously, I don't think buying that game is an endorsement of her. Obviously, she's going to make money from anything Harry Potter related, but that doesn't stop, like, I don't know, ABC Family or whatever, Freeform, whatever network carries Harry Potter movies, right, during, you know, whatever time of year, like, she's seeing money because they license that, right?
But if people don't watch the Harry Potter movies when they show on there, they're not gonna show them on the TV anymore. She's not gonna get the money from there. Like, if people
aren't gonna stop watching Harry Potter. People aren't gonna stop enjoying Harry Potter content.
I'm not
like, yeah, Harry Potter is equivalent to Star Wars in that way, right? Or Lord of the Rings.
So Bryce, you and I do not have to buy this game. I will not be buying this game because I agree with you. Don't give people money if they're gonna do shitty things with them.
Yeah.
But we can't sit and also say, no, Matt, you also can't enjoy this game, because that's what I feel like this has devolved into.
Well, I'm never trying to say that. I'm just trying to say that, like, this is bad and you should be aware of that. And I make bad decisions all the time, and you just have to be aware of the consequences. If you go, this will make me happier than the damage or whatever, or like, I don't care. There are thousands of people who just go, I don't care, or this is important to me, or whatever. Do that. But, like, I'm not going to eat a Chick-fil-A because I know they're going to use the money for bad things, even if they're like, this chicken will, you know, cure your diabetes. I'm going to go, well, I mean, I'll be honest, if it cured diabetes, I'd probably I would go there then, but because the good outweighs the bad. Like, you just do what's right for you. At the end of the day, do what's right for you.
You've never had Chick-fil-A?
I've never had Chick-fil-A either.
Okay, Adam Welsh dragged me there once. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't.
Yeah, I had Chick-fil-A one time 8 years ago, and it was garbage. And then I found out that they were terrible. And I was like, great. I absolutely never have to go back there ever again.
Yeah,
This is excellent.
I don't know where people are like, it's the best thing ever. And I was like, not the one I had. It was not good. So, but yeah, they're just be aware that, sometimes games or content or whatever can support bad people and know what that means. And if at the end of the day that's okay with you, do the thing. I'm not gonna slap a game out of someone's hand and say no, but I will make my own decisions and go, I'm not gonna buy this Harry Potter game, even though it looked really cool. Because I know it's gonna go back to support J.K. Rowling, who is continually managed to, like, you would figure at a certain point after all the backlash, she would go, okay, I'm gonna be quiet now. She just continues to do bad things.
Keeps doubling down.
Yeah.
She doesn't give a shit because there are people who are still like giving her the ability to continue to perpetuate this bullshit.
Yeah. See,
like there are people who are supporting her despite that.
I think.
Do I count if I'm gonna buy this game?
Well, I think the only thing that would make her stop and change would be she stops making money. If you hurt her in the wallet,
I don't think so.
I feel like it would have to be a significant amount. It wouldn't go
She'd have to lose her fortune also.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter, right? In that regard.
I think if she lost her money, if people stopped supporting her, she would lose their money. Obviously it wouldn't just like disappear. We're not going to rob her bank account.
Lose new money,
yes.
right? But like all the other wealth that she has at this point, it wouldn't matter, right?
But she wouldn't be able to live the life she does. You need to like have a certain income to be able to like pay your house taxes and, drive the cars you have and like pay for the, like you can't stay at fancy hotels if you don't have enough money coming in. It's a whole like it's a big conversation. Just know what's right for you. This is probably the most topic of the show conversation.
You buying, I don't know, you buying a product that the owner or original creator of is not an endorsement of that person. Like,
okay, Matt,
that's all I want to say about it. Is just like, that is not me saying I support J.K. Rowling's views on trans people and her transphobia.
But you probably also wouldn't stay at a Trump hotel.
No. Probably not. If it was free, I don't know. I needed a place to stay.
Well, if it's free, free, then yeah, who gives a shit. But if it's like, this is the cheapest hotel, but at the end of the day,
if I were given the choice of like A and B, I would not choose A.
Yeah. If Cyberpunk was like the only game out, that would probably like, I might have to go, hey, do I just not play games? That would be a different question, but as long as you have an alternative, maybe consider it. That's all I'm saying. Next question?
Yes.
That was a good one.
That was a great one.
I'm glad we could all talk about what we're excited about.
Billy the Willy asks, what is your New Year's resolution / goal?
What do you guys?
I don't set those.
The last couple years, or 2 years ago, I set one where I was going to do 10 push-ups a day.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like really unhappy with where I was at. And I've pretty much kept that for 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
Where I've done at least, like, even on like the worst day where it's just like, it's 5 minutes before bed, I just got to do 10, right? Just to commit to, I've set the bar that low that I can just do that. But as you work through it, like 10 push-ups every day for a while was like tough. And then at a point I was doing, 20, 25 at a time, maybe 2 sets of 25 in the morning or something like that. Which I've gotten lazier about, like, especially this winter, but as long as I hit that minimum every day, I'm going to keep doing that forever, I think.
Nice.
So
hell yeah.
I try to apply like that, just what is the lowest common denominator of thing I can do to, better myself. So I want to do like a sketchbook of like kind of a 15-minute sketch. Like I want to get better at I want to get better at drawing in general. Like the more you do it, the better you get, and that's always like, you can always improve. But I want to get better at quickly drawing. So I want to set like, and I started doing this last week. I haven't kept up with it every day, but at least I started a little bit. But I set a timer for 2 minutes, and it's like, okay, I have 2 minutes to draw this. And I did like Samus, from Metroid. And it's like, I have 2 minutes to draw Samus. Okay, now I'm setting a timer for 5 minutes, and I'm going to, turn that layer down and draw over that layer. And I'm going to do in 5 minutes, and then, okay, last one, 15 minutes, and give myself 15 minutes to do it. And that's like, okay, that's a 15-minute drawing ultimately, and try to do that. So that's like a half hour a day that would take. So yeah, I'm going to try and do that at least, I don't know, most days. I should say every day, right? But I guess half hour a day is a little more commitment than like 2 minutes a day.
Hey, you got to have a SMART goal.
Yeah, I really think like that's the key, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, set your goal, whatever you think it's going to be, cut it in half, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then find a level just below that. And like that can be your goal to do every day or whatever it is.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with most people's New Year's resolutions is that they like get too lofty with it, that they like can't do it. Like they want to be like, I'm going to do something crazy and completely change myself, and then they can't complete it, and then they just give up really early. That's why, the first month of the new year, everybody's at the gym, and then after that it's empty. Because they like, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and then they try, and then they're like, something comes up, and the second they, miss a single day, they're like, goal not completed, moving on. So yeah, half it and then go even lower, and then at least you're doing something. Honestly,
Right.
That's like just trying every day is a big goal. Let's see. I'm looking at what SMART is. It's got to be specific, measurable, achievable. I think that is the big one. Achievable, relevant, and time based. And I feel like people are like, what's the point of New Year's resolution? It's like, it's just a SMART goal where the time period is within the next year.
Yeah.
Of going, hey, I'm going to do this within the next year. 2021, I'm going to do this.
Like things that are tougher to do, right? It was like, maybe you want to write a book or something, and it's like, in this next year, I'm going to write a book. That's too nebulous, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you have to say, I'm going to write this amount every day. And even if it's not your book, right, it's just like that exercise, and then you'll be able to push that forward.
Yeah, I know Alex O'Neill had a goal for a year where he wrote every day, where sometimes he'd write an entire article a day, or sometimes he would just write like a paragraph a day. But he wrote something every day, and he can say, I did that. I did somewhat of my task. And he made it the entire year. So having just like something small, I think, is a good deal. Now, saying that, I don't have a SMART goal. Mine is just being better about completing goals, or completing stuff I'm trying to do, because like dead air is just sitting there not ready. I mean, I've episode 9 needs whole episode and needs song. Episode 10 needs whole episode. I think I need to re-record the first episode, and then that's maybe ready. I don't know. It's bad. Another thing I'd like to do, which I just thought of, is I would like to be more social. I don't know if it's just that like I've felt like life has just been crushing me lately, that I've just kind of like, when that happens, when I get like stressed, I just kind of like shut down, shut off from people as much as possible. But I'd like to kind of like try and talk to people more. Just maybe like message Beckers or Darian once in a while and be like, hey, how's it going? And
Darian's thinking about that right
I
now,
don't know. Maybe just Beckers.
Actually, I was thinking about how I haven't gotten any of those kinds of messages for a while. So
From me?
yeah.
I see.
in general.
Well, yeah. I guess I never thought that you saw us in that way, so that I haven't really like done that. Whereas Beckers will just be like, oh, the hairdresser did this to my hair, and then like I have that more just kind of like sometimes we just talk about stuff. So I feel like, I'm more likely to message Beckers casually than other people. Like with you guys, I see you as the co-host of Ready Set Gamecast, because we usually don't talk about anything except for that. Oh, Darian, do you have anything?
No, I really don't. I don't set those. I'm
thinking
terrible at commitment,
A good one just for everyone
Darian's
is
goal-
to put down your phone.
Darian's goal for 2021 will be to be better at commitment. So that 2022 she can have a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Everyone can put down their phone. Do anything else with your time. If you're just scrolling through social stuff, just do something else. Pick up a game or a book, go for a walk, anything else.
I very much wish Erin would put down her phone once in a while. I'm fairly good.
David feels the same way about me.
Yeah. And
you're always on your fucking phone.
And since Erin got TikTok, I'm just like, what are you doing? She's like, just scroll at TikTok. And look at this. I follow this like farmer. They have a little pig. Look at the pigs. And I'm like, I don't care.
Man, I want to be a farmer.
I don't care. I like
TikTok's great. Good on you. I fucking love TikTok, man.
Well, this brings us to housekeeping. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, as well as the video version on youtube.com/lastgeek. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Other Last Geek stuff you should check out: Game Make Corp, an improv comedy podcast that I do with Dr. Beckers, is ending in February with episode 69.
Nice.
Yep. We've been having the conversation quite a bit of like, hey, should we just end this? And then it was like, well, we're 2 episodes from 69. She's like, let's do it then. Yeah, so Game A Corp's ending. The feed will still be up. I don't see myself taking down the feed for Game A Corp at any point. So you can always listen to the backlog. But if you want to submit a game idea, your time is running out. But a podcast that is not going anywhere, Dungeons and Gamers, will have a new episode by the time this one comes out. It is the interlude, our first interlude between our live show episodes and our next big adventure. It will probably make you cry. I know that during the recording I was tearing up a little bit. So get ready for that. Dungeons and Gamers available on youtube.com/lastgeek and podcast services everywhere. If you want to stay up to date on what Dungeons and Gamers is up to, go to Twitter, Dungeons Gamers. It's cool.
Cool indeed.
That's the end of this episode. Matt, where can people find you?
At Dilbert Pickled on Twitch and Twitter.
Darren.
I'm a witchy fairy. AWITCHYFAERIE on Twitter and Twitch, and that's it. Just kidding. It's not it.
Oh.
I figured you were gonna make the big what? Let me see. That doesn't go into effect till
like a couple days later.
Yeah, like 4 days.
Saturday.
4 days
Oh
after
yeah,
the
my
episode.
OnlyFans is going free. So don't click on it unless you want to see Darian booty.
You can follow me at Twitter at LastGeek, Instagram LastGeekPlays, YouTube.com/LastGeek, OnlyFans.com/LastGeek. That's probably it that I can think of. Twitch.tv/LastGeekPlays. That's the podcast. Hope you enjoy it, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.